When most people hear the name Daniel Radcliffe, they immediately think of magic. They remember the young boy who stepped onto movie screens and became one of the most recognizable faces on Earth. For millions, he would always be Harry Potter, the child star who grew up before the world's eyes. But behind the fame, the red carpets, and the global success was a very different story. A story about growing up under intense scrutiny. A story about trying to find genuine human connection while the entire world watched. And perhaps most intriguing of all, it's a story about love. Over the years, Daniel's name has been linked to co-stars, actresses, and rumored romances. Fans speculated endlessly about who he might be dating and whether any relationship could survive the extraordinary pressures of fame. Yet after years of public attention, one woman would eventually emerge as the person who seemed to mean more to him than anyone else. But before we reach that chapter, we need to understand the long journey that brought him there. Because sometimes the greatest love stories begin long before two people ever meet. Daniel Radcliffe was born on July 23, 1989, in London, England. Unlike many child actors, he didn't come from a Hollywood dynasty. His parents worked in creative fields, but nobody could have predicted what would happen when a young Daniel was cast in the film adaptation of Harry Potter. At just 11 years old, his life changed forever. The success of the Harry Potter franchise was unlike anything most actors experience in an entire lifetime. Suddenly, Daniel wasn't simply a teenager growing up in Britain. He was one of the most famous young people in the world. For many teenagers, first crushes, friendships, and awkward romantic experiences happen in relative privacy. For Daniel, those same years unfolded under the gaze of millions. As the films became global phenomena, fans developed intense curiosity about every aspect of his personal life. Interviews, magazine covers, and tabloid stories often focused not only on his career but also on who he might be dating. It was a difficult environment in which to develop normal relationships. Daniel would later speak openly in interviews about the challenges of growing up famous. While he was grateful for the opportunities his career provided, he also understood that celebrity created unusual pressures. Every friendship could become a headline. Every public appearance could spark rumors. Naturally, this affected public perceptions of his love life. During the height of Harry Potter mania, fans frequently speculated about Daniel's relationships with his co-stars. Among the most persistent rumors involved his close friendship with Emma Watson. Because Harry Potter and Hermione Granger shared such a beloved on-screen bond, many fans hoped the actors themselves would become a real-life couple. Their chemistry during interviews and public appearances only fueled those hopes. However, both Daniel and Emma consistently described their relationship as a friendship. Over the years, they repeatedly spoke with affection and admiration for one another, but there has never been evidence that they were romantically involved. Similar speculation surrounded Daniel's friendship with Bonnie Wright, who portrayed Ginny Weasley. Again, fan theories often blurred the line between fiction and reality. Yet public information indicates that their relationship remained professional and friendly. This pattern would become familiar throughout Daniel's career. The public often tried to transform chemistry into romance, friendship into love stories, and casual interactions into headlines. But Daniel remained remarkably private. As he entered adulthood, reports began linking him to several women. Some relationships were confirmed, while others remained little more than media speculation. One of Daniel's earliest publicly known relationships was with actress Laura O'Toole. The relationship reportedly began after the two met while working on the stage production Equus in the late 2000s. Although neither frequently discussed the romance in public, various reports at the time suggested they dated for a period. The relationship attracted attention because it represented one of Daniel's first serious adult romances after years of global fame. For a young man who had spent much of his adolescence under extraordinary circumstances, experiences like these were important. They offered opportunities to build relationships outside the Harry Potter bubble and discover who he was beyond the role that made him famous. Over the following years, Daniel's name occasionally appeared in celebrity gossip columns. Some stories linked him to actresses or industry figures, while others relied largely on speculation rather than confirmed facts. One thing remained consistent: Daniel rarely fueled the rumors. Unlike some celebrities who publicly discuss every relationship, he generally preferred privacy. He seemed far more interested in focusing on his work than turning his personal life into entertainment. That approach earned him respect from many fans. As his acting career evolved beyond Harry Potter, Daniel pursued challenging roles in theater, independent films, and television. He worked hard to establish himself as a serious actor rather than a former child star. Yet while his professional life expanded, his personal life was also changing. The young actor who once navigated fame alone was beginning to understand what he truly valued in relationships: trust, privacy, shared humor, authenticity. The qualities that mattered most weren't necessarily the qualities that generated headlines. And somewhere ahead, without Daniel fully realizing it yet, there was a woman who embodied those qualities in a way no one else had. A woman he had not yet met. A woman who would eventually become the most significant romantic partner of his life. Their meeting would happen during a film project. It would begin as a professional collaboration. And over time, it would grow into something neither tabloids nor fan theories could have predicted. The next chapter of Daniel Radcliffe's story isn't about rumors. It's about reality. It's about the relationship that has endured for years, survived the pressures of fame, and transformed the way he thinks about love, commitment, and family. By the early 2010s, Daniel Radcliffe had already lived several lifetimes in the eyes of the public. He had experienced a level of fame that few people could comprehend. He had spent years proving that he was more than the character who made him famous. He had navigated public scrutiny, media speculation, and the challenges of growing up in front of millions. Yet despite all of his success, one of the most important chapters of his life was only beginning. And it started on a film set. In 2012, Daniel signed on to star in Kill Your Darlings, a drama inspired by the early lives of famous Beat Generation writers. The role was another step in his ongoing effort to build a career beyond Harry Potter. It was a serious project that challenged him creatively and allowed him to explore more mature material. What Daniel likely didn't realize at the time was that the film would also introduce him to someone who would permanently change his life. That person was actress Erin Darke. Darke had been steadily building her own acting career, appearing in independent films and television productions. Unlike many celebrity relationships that begin amid red carpet glamour and media attention, their story began in a working environment. They were simply two actors focused on a project. Over the years, Daniel has spoken publicly about meeting Erin during the filming of Kill Your Darlings. Their connection developed naturally while working together, eventually evolving into a romantic relationship. Unlike the countless rumors that had surrounded Daniel throughout his younger years, this relationship was real. And perhaps because it began away from the manufactured excitement of celebrity gossip, it possessed something many public romances struggle to find: a strong foundation. At first, the relationship attracted attention simply because Daniel Radcliffe was involved. Fans wanted to know everything. Would it last? Was it serious? Would it become another short-lived Hollywood romance? Celebrity culture often trains people to expect relationships to come and go. High-profile couples appear constantly in headlines, only to disappear months later. But Daniel and Erin seemed determined to do things differently. Instead of constantly discussing their private life, they largely protected it. Instead of turning every milestone into a publicity event, they focused on building a real partnership. And year after year, the relationship continued. As time passed, something became increasingly clear. This wasn't simply another chapter in Daniel's dating history. It was becoming the defining relationship of his adult life. One reason many observers believe their bond has lasted is the way they appear to complement one another. While Daniel possesses one of the most recognizable faces in modern entertainment, Erin has never seemed interested in using that fame for attention. Their relationship has often appeared grounded, private, and surprisingly normal considering the extraordinary circumstances surrounding Daniel's career. In interviews over the years, Daniel has spoken warmly about Erin, often highlighting her intelligence, humor, and support. Importantly, he has never portrayed their relationship as a fairy tale free from challenges. Instead, his comments have often reflected genuine appreciation for having a partner who understands him as a person rather than a celebrity. That distinction matters. For someone who spent most of his life being recognized everywhere he went, finding a relationship built on authenticity rather than fame was likely invaluable. As the years passed, their bond grew stronger. They attended events together. They supported one another's projects. They built a shared life away from constant public attention. And while fans frequently searched for dramatic headlines, the true story was much quieter. Two people choosing each other again and again. One of the most revealing aspects of Daniel's public comments has been his obvious admiration for Erin's talent and personality. Rather than focusing on superficial details, He often emphasizes qualities that suggest deep respect. Respect is often less glamorous than passion in Hollywood storytelling, but it is frequently what allows relationships to endure. Observers began noticing that Daniel seemed genuinely happy. Not in the flashy, headline-generating way often associated with celebrity romances, but in the calmer, steadier way that comes from feeling understood. Years turned into more than a decade. The relationship survived career changes, media attention, and the pressures that often challenge long-term partnerships. Many celebrity couples struggled to maintain privacy. Daniel and Erin appeared to embrace it. Many celebrity couples are constantly discussed because of conflict. Daniel and Erin were often discussed because of consistency. And then came another major milestone. In 2023, public reports confirmed that Daniel and Erin had welcomed their first child together. The news marked a profound new chapter in their lives. Although the couple has remained protective of their family's privacy, Daniel later spoke in interviews about the experience of becoming a parent. His comments reflected excitement, gratitude, and a growing appreciation for the responsibilities that come with fatherhood. For many people, becoming a parent reshapes priorities. Success takes on a different meaning. Time becomes more precious. Relationships become even more important. Daniel's reflections suggested that parenthood had given him a new perspective on life. And through this transition, Erin remained by his side. The woman he had met on a film set years earlier was now his partner in raising a family. Looking back, it's remarkable how different this relationship was from the rumors and speculation that once surrounded his name. The public had spent years trying to predict Daniel Radcliffe's romantic future. Yet the relationship that endured wasn't born from fan theories, media excitement, or celebrity matchmaking. It grew quietly, patiently, authentically, and perhaps that's exactly why it lasted. Today, many fans view Erin Darke as Daniel's soulmate, not because Daniel has publicly used that specific word, but because their relationship reflects the qualities people often associate with lasting love: trust, friendship, mutual respect, shared laughter, and an unwavering commitment to building a life together. But what truly sets Erin apart from every other relationship Daniel has experienced? Why has this partnership endured when so many others fade? And what has Daniel's journey taught him about love, fame, and the people who matter most? Those answers lie in the final chapter of this story. As the years passed, something remarkable happened in Daniel Radcliffe's life. The headlines became less important. The rumors faded into the background. The endless speculation that once surrounded his personal life gradually lost its power. What remained was something far more meaningful. A relationship built not on fantasy, but on reality. For much of his life, Daniel had existed in an unusual position. Millions of people felt they knew him, yet very few truly did. The world watched him grow from a child actor into an accomplished adult performer. Every career move was analyzed. Every appearance generated discussion. But behind the public image was a man searching for the same thing most people seek: genuine connection. And that is what makes his relationship with Erin Darke so significant. Unlike the countless rumors that followed him through the years, this relationship wasn't built on public expectations. It wasn't created by fans hoping fiction would become reality. It wasn't fueled by tabloid headlines. It grew through shared experiences, mutual respect, and time. Lots of time. When people discuss lasting love, they often focus on dramatic moments. The first meeting, the first kiss, the grand gestures. But long-term relationships are usually defined by something quieter. The ordinary days. The difficult conversations. The decision to continue choosing one another year after year. That is where Daniel and Erin's story truly stands apart. More than a decade after meeting on the set of Kill Your Darlings, they remain together, building a life that appears grounded in friendship as much as romance. And perhaps that friendship is one of the strongest clues to understanding why their relationship has endured. Throughout various interviews over the years, Daniel has spoken warmly about Erin. While he has always protected many aspects of their private life, his comments consistently reveal admiration and appreciation. He has spoken about her intelligence, her humor, her talent, the happiness she brings to his life. These observations may sound simple, but they reveal something important. Real love often expresses itself through respect, not through dramatic declarations, not through attention-grabbing headlines, but through genuine appreciation for who another person is. One of the most touching aspects of Daniel's public comments is how often they focus on Erin as a person rather than as a celebrity partner. That distinction matters. In a world where famous couples are frequently reduced to photographs and gossip, Daniel's admiration often seems rooted in something deeper. He appears to value the life they have created together, the laughter they share, the understanding they have built, the trust that has developed over years of partnership. And trust is not something that appears overnight. It is earned, especially for someone who spent much of his youth under a microscope. Growing up famous can create unique challenges. Relationships are tested by public scrutiny, demanding schedules, and constant attention. People may be interested in you for reasons that have nothing to do with who you really are. Finding someone who sees beyond all of that can be rare. Perhaps that is one reason Erin became so important in Daniel's life. She met him not as a childhood icon, but as a fellow actor working on a film. Their relationship developed through real interaction, not through public fascination. Over time, that foundation appears to have become incredibly strong. Then came parenthood. For many people, becoming a parent changes everything. The future suddenly feels different. Priorities shift. The definition of success evolves. By all public accounts, Daniel embraced fatherhood with enthusiasm and gratitude. Although he and Erin have chosen to keep much of their family life private, his interview suggests that this chapter has brought new meaning to his life. And once again, Erin has been there beside him. Not as a supporting character, not as a temporary chapter, but as a partner, a teammate, a co-parent, a constant presence during one of life's most transformative experiences. Looking back on Daniel's journey, it's possible to see how every stage of his life contributed to this moment. The young boy thrust into worldwide fame learned the challenges of living in public. The teenager surrounded by rumors learned the importance of privacy. The young adult navigating relationships learned what qualities mattered most. And the mature man eventually found someone who appeared to embody those qualities. Among all of Daniel's publicly known relationships, Erin has been the longest-lasting and most significant. She has shared more than a decade of his life. She has stood beside him through major career milestones. She has become the mother of his child. And based on his public comments, she is someone he deeply admires and values. For many fans, those facts speak louder than dramatic declarations ever could. Love is not always measured by words. Sometimes it is measured by consistency, by commitment, by showing up every day, by building a future together. In a world fascinated by celebrity breakups and scandals, Daniel Radcliffe's relationship offers a different story. A quieter story. A more human story. A story about finding someone who makes life better not because they complete you, but because they walk beside you through every chapter. Perhaps that is why so many people see Erin Darke as the great love of Daniel Radcliffe's life. Not because of a single quote, not because of a headline, but because of everything they have built together over the years. After all the fame, all the success, and all the attention, Daniel Radcliffe appears to have found something far more valuable than celebrity. He found a lasting partnership. And sometimes, that is the most magical ending of all. If you enjoyed this story, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Daniel and Erin's relationship is one of Hollywood's most genuine love stories?